We're good. All right. Good morning, everyone. In person and on Zoom. If you're here in person, we have a little treat in the back, donuts today to celebrate. Let's do the secret slide.
Oh. Thank you.
Do you have any speeches or words of
My
wisdom?
wisdom is
Yes.
don't get older.
Aw.
Stay young.
We are happy that you are such a great mentor to so many of us. So
Exactly.
everyone can eat some donuts in your honor.
That's right. That's the good thing today.
And Dwight will have this clip to him the whole day.
All day long.
So
So you'll see him coming.
yes, you will do. Happy birthday, Dwight.
Thank you.
Okay, Ramona, her class is cranking along. How is the class going? And can people still jump on if they haven't been joining?
Yeah, no, definitely. So we went through like who you are and what you bring to the table, show up, and then identifying who your ideal client is. So we just kind of wrap that up with a pretty bow. Specifically, after going through the branding process, great. So a lot of information about that. So next week, we want to talk about how to, like your breakthrough, how you deliver those services to your client and what that path looks like.
So cool. So even though it was an 8-week series, you can still jump on and talk about branding and that self-discovery of who your clients are. So thanks, Ramona. It's a really good series. And then on Wednesday this week, we have our CE class sponsored by Tycor Title. And it's all about different apps, industry apps that can help real estate professionals. So hopefully we'll get introduced to some exciting apps there. Lunch will be served. So please register. That link takes you to the Tycor registration because they give out the CE certificate. So it does make it easier if you register.
And like
So
what,
those.
let's talk about this. What does this mean? Apps that might help it for efficiency.
I don't know, maybe like expense tracking or like
Mileage.
marketing or
How about
like
your app,
farming.
for your bio?
Oh, Linktree.
Yeah.
I showed Dwight Linktree the other day.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
So these are just
Yeah.
apps that people are using to help them keep track of things and coordinate and organize their lives. So it would be valuable because there may be something that you'll find and say, hey, I'm going to start using that. It'll help me.
Yes, I have a conflict, so I can't go to that, but I'm disappointed because I think it'll be cool to learn about all the different apps that we don't know about that people are using. So
Cameron, you use an app for your expenses. What is it? Don't you?
My expenses?
Yeah.
Oh, I use a company as an app.
What's it called?
Would be- oh,
Formation.
mhm. But yeah, so hopefully they'll share some cool ones. So see some of you guys there tomorrow. And then at the same time tomorrow, so this will be in the front room. This is the next week, actually. Just kidding. The next Wednesday, Kelly's teaching contract mastery right after the new agent group coaching. So anyone can come to this. Kelly will really deep dive into the contracts, but if you are new, you 100% need to go to this so that you know all the interworkings of most importantly, the sales contract and then the listing contract and then any others that you guys can get through as time allows. So we've kind of reworked the contract mastery classes. Instead of having them weekly for shorter periods of time, we're going to do like a 2-hour one every month moving forward so that we can just really deep dive and get into those. So new agents, you will see Kelly in this room.
Mhm.
And then a lot of you guys have watched the Value Squared training that Keller Williams International put out, and they have done a few different sessions of it. And the last session of it is going to be next week. So if you register on that little link, that takes you to like the Keller Williams site where you can register and you'll get the Zoom link, but so you can take it from anywhere. And then we'll also be live streaming it in this room on the 25th. So, you should register it even if you're going to come to the live stream, because then I think they'll email you the slides and stuff afterwards. But it's been great information. I've heard nothing but great things. I know Fox team, they all took it last week together, and this is the last time for now that they're going to offer it. So it's 2 hours ish. It might go a little longer, but just to kind of plan for that. So
It's been, yes.
it's been anywhere from 2 to 3 hours long. So we'll see. But there's a lot of value in that class and like
Yeah.
being able to articulate your own value. Okay, and then also on Thursday, the 25th, in this room, from 2 to 5, we're doing headshots and happy hour. So come get your headshot taken. You do have to sign up for a spot just so we have like 10-minute segments. If you don't get a spot, we might be able to fit like 1 or 2 in, but not guaranteed. So try to sign up for a spot. There was only 7 left when Cole was making these slides like yesterday. So, but Randy Lundenberg is our professional photographer. So they're good, like edited professional headshots, and she has backgrounds and stuff. And then even if you're not getting a headshot or just come and have happy hour and hang out, it should be nice. We'll have the doors open and stuff. So, next Thursday.
Supposed to be sunny for 3 days.
Ah,
Sunny, warm sunny.
oh, I love it. Okay, we were gonna have analyzing real estate investments on May 2nd, but we just wanted to throw this up there that we had to reschedule that. So it's gonna be a month out, May 16th, but we just wanted to put that up there since it was rescheduled from being sooner. And then Red Day. Don't forget to register for Red Day. If you register by April 22nd, we will get you a Red Day t-shirt. So again, we're going to the food bank, and we do need everyone to register before the event because there's some paperwork everyone has to fill out that we'll email out. So it should be great. We're going to be sorting and packing produce, packing non-dry or non-perishable items, and we'll all be in like a close area working together. And then we'll go do something fun after for lunch or happy hour. So if you have any suggestions of where we should go to lunch or happy
Oh,
hour.
I have an idea.
Or did we
I'll
pick
let you know-
someone?
No, we haven't.
Oh, you
I'll
have
let
an
you know. I
idea.
have an idea, Alicia.
Okay, I like it. All right, and then we're not gonna talk too much today, but just because it was announced and you're probably getting emails from Keller Williams International, Mega Agent Camp is in August in Austin, Texas, and it's the 12th through the 15th. And so there's the 2 main events a year, Family Reunion and Mega Camp. So Family Reunion is more days, and there's all the different breakout sessions that you go to, where at Mega Agent Camp, it's like 2 loaded days, but then so it's a little bit shorter of a time frame, and it's top agents from around the country that will all come up to the main stage, and it'll just be like interview after interview after interview. And it's cool. It's what they came out with those books last year with all the different one-pagers of how different agents generate business and things like that. So if you're interested in that, we'll continue to talk a little bit more about that, but I just wanted to like throw the dates out there since summer does get busy for people, and we will talk more about that coming soon.
Yeah, this is nice because you can fly down the day before and you can probably come home that night because they have a flight from
Mhm.
Austin at
That's like 7
like
at night.
6:37. You get home at somewhere between 10 and 11. They have a few different flights. I know I think Alaska has like 3.
Mhm.
So you don't have to be gone all week to do this. And again, it's KW's top people that are exceeding the market right now.
And it's so cool to hear like from all these different people doing things completely different ways from each other, right? You know, you could have 10 people in a row and they could all be doing something completely different to get their business. And
Yep.
so it's just cool to see all the different ways that people can be successful. Brian, come on up, Brian Miner from Homefront. We're gonna talk about loans. And then not to like put you on the spot, do you want to talk about the announcement that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac made yesterday, or and I'll give
Oh,
maybe
yeah,
a little bit of a hint.
I think they're just kind of clarifying that they just wanted to make everyone know, hey, we can still pack that, buyer's agent commission into the transaction as separate from the normal contributions. They just kind of need to word that in there. So
Mhm,
I
exactly.
think we'll have a little bit more clear guidance as I guess they finalize everything, but they
Mm-hmm.
just kind of wanted to get that out there saying, hey, we can still do this.
Yes, and I'm gonna just like explain that a different way just to make sure everyone understands that. So the limits towards the concessions, can't exceed like the closing costs in certain amounts for different loan limits. So now they've determined that if there's buyer's commission paid, it won't count against the concession limit. So like
If
you
the
said,
seller pays it, it has
if
to
the
be,
seller pays it.
has to be on the seller's debit
And
side.
there's a little bit more restrictions, has to be between like 2% and 3%. There's like some parameters, but
Right.
they at least announced like, and we'll get more
We
details.
can still structure it into the deal. The accounting can still be there.
Mhm.
It's not really a closing cost. It's still just worked into the transaction. So, yeah, I guess they kind of want to just keep everyone happy and keep business chugging along.
Well, it is good news, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, if it was.
Yay,
gonna
good
count towards
news.
that-
All right. Okay, so I don't, Cole, I don't know if you got the stuff I sent you. Sorry, it's a little late or whatnot, but there were some really cool products that have been just kind of being developed recently. I just thought this might be helpful for everyone. Really kind of stretching the limits on what FHA can do. So this is, you know, if somebody's been turned down, maybe they're self-employed, maybe they're a foreign national, they're really opening up the FHA product for kind of like everyone now. So I mean, somebody who was a foreign national, they used to not really have this available. So if you had anyone that's been turned down, maybe their income doesn't check out. We also have this verification of employment, the VOE, kind of bypasses a lot of the other traditional income verification steps. So maybe their taxes, they write a ton of stuff off. Hey, we could just use like an employer verification of employment. It makes things a lot easier. People can kind of get killed on their taxes sometimes, depending on how they do it. So this is just another way to, I guess, just expand the market for buyers, make things a little easier, just since rates are not the absolute best. So but they still want to have a lot of buyers that are available in the marketplace. So yeah, and they don't need to look at taxes in essence. So that's kind of a big deal for FHA. I mean, that's a full doc product, but now they're trying to make it a little bit more lenient, get more people involved. There's another one in there too, and that's, sorry, this is a little wordy, but it kind of goes into that same sort of thing. They've stretched this product and program so that if you, again, foreign nationals, you used to have to put like 20% down if you're not a U.S. citizen. So it does open up this program. Sorry, it's a little wordy here. Maybe the next one, it kind of goes over some of the bullet points on this. So yeah, again, the alternative income. That's where if you've had anyone turned down, maybe they're, you know, they didn't, their taxes are a little sketchy or whatnot, or you know, they're not, you know, there's some Intel engineer and they're not a full-on U.S. citizen. This really opens up that market for a much smaller down payment versus the traditional route that they had to go with. Okay.
Excellent.
Do we want to talk about the becoming a loan officer? Or is that another discussion?
Another day.
Okay. All right, great.
Let's just talk about rates are still not.
We have a new
amazing.
war out there. So anytime there's a little bit of instability in the Middle East, price of oil goes up. Obviously it's you know, it's still soon to know really what's going to happen. It's kind of that buy the rumor, sell the fact type of situation. So I guess we'll see how that plays out. But anytime there's the potential risk for oil going up, that can kind of spook the interest rate markets a little bit.
So we're not anticipating a rate cut anytime in the immediate future. Would that be a safe assumption?
I mean, no crystal ball, but you know, summer is right around the corner, and I guess as inflation, you know, as that kind of starts to ebb a little bit and go away, then that's what they're looking for, to be able to kind of open up the door for the rate cuts. Yeah.
Right. So inflation and all the international affairs are the things to watch
Right. Yeah.
right now.
Stuff that we kind of have no control over, but I guess, you know, don't buy any gasoline. And I mean, as the price of fuel goes up, the price of everything goes up. So that's one of the things that they're looking out for, I suppose.
And then so rate buy downs are going to continue to be.
Yeah. If we need to do that, I mean, again, it kind of depends on that time frame of the buyer. If they're going to be in the home a really long time, they really love the place, then yes, let's look at some seller concessions to buy down that rate, do a permanent buy down. If they're just kind of in the home for the next few years, maybe it makes sense to do a temporary buy down, just a 2-1 buy down, for example, or just bite the bullet, have the higher rate, and then in 2-3 years, you know, rates are better, and you know, they just, I guess, go at that point. But yeah, I mean, using the seller concessions, buying down the rates, if they're going to be there a long term, that's kind of the play to make. So yeah, happy to look at any of those scenarios with anyone.
Awesome. Yeah. So making sure you are involving your lender, and come reach out to Brian if you have any questions on not necessarily just the off the shelf rates anymore, right? Like looking at different options.
Yes, let's go outside of the box. I mean, look at that. 1 day out of a bankruptcy. What the heck? I mean, that's an FHA product. So anyway, I thought that was fascinating.
Thank you, Brian.
All right, guys. Talk to you soon.
And we've talked about how we knew that in a short period of time, FHA, VA, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, they're all gonna come out with modifications and clarifications, so the market does not slow down. Right? They're gonna take care of especially the low income people of the world. They want to get in houses. So they'll even get, you'll see more. There'll be probably, if the rates stay high, there's even going to be another round that's going to make it easier for people to qualify.
Mhm.
Just like they did when we came out of the Great Recession. So when the market's tough, they loosen up to try and keep real estate going for people. They know household formation and home ownership is the key to the economy. So
Awesome. Thank you guys. Okay, so now we are going to shift gears to our guest for today. So, okay, that's good. We'll talk about it. So there's all the different KW communities. So most of us are familiar with like KW commercial and luxury, right? But there are a number of other communities that have come out within the last couple of years. And one of the newer ones is KW Relocation. And so we wanted to have Christina Griffin from the relocation team come on and talk to us a little bit about what they are offering, what their community looks like, fees, structure, how that all works, because a lot of the different communities are structured differently. Like some of them, there is a cost. Some of them are more networking focused. Some of them are more like event and resource focused. So when she jumps on, we'll talk a little bit more about that. And because I know some of you guys have asked us or come to Kelly and asked about like, hey, could we get this XYZ relocation company, like to get sign on those, right? The thing about those is they're very expensive to you, right? To us and to you. Would you say, is that a fair statement? Some of
Yeah,
them?
they're very expensive to you.
Mhm.
Not so much that makes a difference to us, but they're also very like they get their trenches into things and they don't let go. It's like it's a hard business to go out and get and bring in. I don't know.
Mhm.
I'm not trying to
Right. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because a couple of people have asked about, like,
Yeah.
you know, like the contracts that they have
So,
with like Nike
like
and
Cardis is like the biggest real estate, the biggest relocation company in the world, and they are they're just kind of get entrenched into certain things, and it's really hard to get into their level. I've tried before to get into their network is extremely difficult. It's almost untenable. It's like getting an escrow license. It's impossible. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Before Christina jumps on, sorry, not to make you go back. Will you go back to all the communities? Oh yeah. So if you go to KW communities, you can look and see all of the different communities because there's some other new ones. KW Clarity is like around mental health. Keep scrolling down. You know, military there's not a cost to that. That's just a designation. And then there's KW operations, KW real estate planner. There's a lot of these newer ones. Talent is to help you hire and retain your talent. The young professionals, Austin Ramey, our local young professionals president. But anyways, relocation is one people ask about a lot. So we're gonna deep dive into that. Click on that.
We think.
Hmm?
We hope.
We hope. Is Christina on yet? She's relocating. Okay, she's doing it. That's okay. Do we have, who is a member of any communities other than, I know we have people in luxury and I know we have people in commercial. And then young professionals, but I know we have sports and entertainment. Jenny is in that. Is anyone else? Brett, are you in land? Did you ever join land? No. Okay. Just curious, but yeah, so land is a big one here that, I think that if that's your specialty, somebody should get into it because you get referrals from their websites.
yeah, why is it important to have these designations that show up on your
Oh yeah, let's talk about
referral
that.
network?
So when you go into command and you're looking for someone to refer a deal to somewhere else, right? You can search by any of these communities. So you say you were looking for specifically a luxury person or a land one, or the more networking focused ones, right? Like you're looking for a fellow like KW young professional or somebody in the Rainbow Network, which is the LGBTQ plus, or the military. So say you're looking for like a fellow veteran. It just gives more reasons for people to select you, right? So it's kind of like the same reason if you speak other languages, you want to make sure you put that in your KW Command profile. And you want to make sure your profile looks good, because that's how if people are looking for someone to give a referral to, they find you. So, if you're on the ALC, there's even like an ALC tag you can put, all kinds of different things. But you want to make sure if you are involved in any of these communities that you tag that in there.
And it works the other way too. If you have a professional athlete that you're gonna list their house in Portland and they're gonna go to LA or
Mhm.
another market, then you would naturally go into the referral network and look to see if there's anyone that has a sports and entertainment designation in KW in their city. And the reason that's important is that they've had to take some education and they have a different mindset about what it takes to serve athletes. Because they do have a different lifestyle. They have very different needs than many of the other people that you deal with. So I know for me, I've given several luxury referrals out. I want to make sure I get someone that's actually sold luxury homes. You know, something in the million range, for example. So that's one of the questions one of the answers that I look for is their designation, and then go in and say, okay, well, tell me how you're doing in this field. How many have you sold? How many do you do a year? What's important? Because I know my client and here's what their expectations are going to be.
And there's a lot of agents at Keller Williams that really grow their business on these agent to agent referrals, right? Like a lot of you guys who have gone to the events and networked and you know, made different networking groups and things like that. You can really see the value of doing that. So is Christina on, or should we just start talking? Okay, we'll keep talking. I apologize. We'll go into relocation if she doesn't come on. But while we wait for her, we've kind of taken a break from the NAR discussions because we were talking about that quite a bit. But does anyone have any scenarios or questions or things that came up this week, like real life conversations worth sharing?
Anyone
Come and
have
go.
clients asking them questions? How's it going? You have clients?
Yeah, we've had clients ask about it. When we explain what we believe are gonna be the changes, they say, so the attorneys made a bunch of money and forms are gonna change slightly, and we say, yeah, pretty much. And they're happy with that answer. It hasn't hindered our ability to negotiate our own linear fees.
Yeah.
Our fees have remained what we consider to be reasonable.
Feasible.
Feasible, reasonable,
Pardon the pun.
excitable.
Right. Anyone else have conversations with anyone about it? Veronica, you told me you had a good conversation with the listing. Yes, and you you said you said you were knowledgeable about what was going on, and they said that they went with you because you were more knowledgeable. I swear you said that.
You told me too, by the way. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
To have that much business.
I know.
Okay, well, let's tell the story. She was in an interview for a listing. There were multiple other people. They chose her because she could explain exactly what was happening with the NAR settlement and what it meant to selling the home. That's what you told me. They gave you the listing based on the fact that you understood what was happening with the settlement and how it would impact the market. Huh? No?
Mhm. Okay.
I think you're right, but I'm just trying to remember which one. Seriously, my brain is really.
That's okay. We put you on this. I put you on the spot. It was a good story. We'll go to a different good story. Tim, I'm going to put you on the spot. You have had some good success with open houses recently.
Yes.
Will you just share like a little bit about what we were talking about with like,
Oh,
like the busyness of open houses?
I mean, so that's one thing, like DC Homes Group are specialized in open house presentation, just having a nice structure around that. A couple weekends ago, we covered an open house for Lindsay Terry over by the St. John's area. It was nuts. We had like 30 plus parties that just on Saturday. Met with I don't know, a dozen folks that had signed up, and now I'm working with five active clients, and I had to put in an offer with one of them, and we got accepted within less than 48 hours of meeting.
What value was the home in St. John's area?
It was, I mean, it was a fixer.
And what, like
Um,
400,
450,
450? Yeah,
it was in the Lincoln High boundaries, and that was really what,
yeah, that probably did it.
yeah,
Mhm.
obviously strike support.
Yeah.
But, it was great.
Yeah, and like those stories are motivating for so many reasons. One, that traffic, open house traffic, as the weather gets nice, like is picking up, right? Especially in those price points, and that you picked up 5 active buyers, and then, you wrote an offer that got accepted on somebody that you didn't know 48 hours before that,
Yeah.
right? So that's inspiring if you're like, looking at your pipeline and feeling like you don't have a lot going on, like, maybe your sphere isn't turning out what you want. Like there's other ways to go out and hustle for some business that maybe you can hopefully get sooner. So.
Did you happen to have the new conversation about
Hmm.
agency, and did that come up at all?
NAR stuff?
NAR?
Yeah,
It
they
did?
asked about that because they are also, I got a listing referral out of it for somebody up in Seattle. Yeah, it was quite the fruitful weekend.
So you got a listing referral, you got something under contract.
Yep.
And 5 buyers.
Yep.
You're done for the year.
Good for this month.
I can.
I love it. Has anyone else had any other good open house success?
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
I had about 15 weeks doing our house and out in the areas. Nonstop. We were shutting the house down and the lights back on, even though the signs were gone.
That's awesome. That's great. I love that, right? Like
Mhm.
just even having that traffic is energy, right? Like obviously you're not going to pick up, some slam dunk leads every single time, but the more people you're talking to, the higher your odds. So I think that's motivating, right? For spring.
And what do you use for your site? Do you have iPad, a piece of paper?
No, so the house that we were at was a little tricky because there were 3 conferences. So trying to anticipate where people were gonna go, I tried to have directionals kind of force people to go the way I wanted them to, but I had an iPad and then we also had a computer. We use our IDX branded site that allows us to have an open house sign up, and so they just white registration, their name, number, and email. They put that in, and after they put into it information, they'll get an email 2 hours after they signed up, thanking them, getting a bit more, like introduction from us, and it gets baked into our CRM.
What good conversation get them to do that? We have that verbiage and.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
what would you?
So I just, when I greet people, obviously just how you're connecting with folks, but it's just I don't really try to make it a thing. It's like, hey, and everybody who's walking in, we're just making sure they sign up so the sellers know who's been through their house.
That's awesome. And then you can do that through command too. You can make the open house like sign-in sheets for each property. So yeah.
I'm curious if you've heard any talk from builders for new construction about all the things. So like this weekend I was out showing and I was seeing like Lennar is still offering 1%, but I was seeing 2.5, 2.7. And are we seeing any talk of like Lennar is gonna offer 0, or I feel like they're gonna maybe be the ones who sort of lead.
I think that would be a good guess.
Yeah, I think it's highly
Thought that
likely
too, yeah.
that you'll see, because not the smaller builder will probably still need realtors to promote their products, but like Lennar, these big, may not, like you see a company like Holt Homes are kind of like on the fringe there. But you see them all, they've been doing this for a long time. Like they get more refined in their processes in their showroom, in their
Mhm.
model home. And that's the means to edge you out, and because they don't really want the buyer to have representation. I mean, I may be speaking out of turn here a little bit, but I feel like it looks like they really don't want the buyer to have representation by the way they process their systems. And so they're doing a lot of things to they have it's very interesting. It's in some ways brilliant in a bad way, but the way they have streamlined their systems to provide like your options are finishes, not if you actually want to get any repairs done to the property. You know what I mean? Like, so they just keep they're really good at keeping the transaction moving and keeping you from sticking your nose in it. Like they will edge you out every chance they get. And so I would expect a company, especially like Lennar, to probably be on the forefront of this. So I would be, yeah.
I would be watching that close,
I
because
watch-
we've already seen, I
Right.
feel like builders like Lennar.
Yeah.
Try to edge out our agents more so in the last couple
Right.
months than we have seen
And so
before.
I want to be really careful when I say this, because I want to be really careful when I say this, but my experiences with Lennar have, and I've seen it so many different times. We should just talk about this.
Mhm.
If your clients are going to purchase a property with Lennar or maybe even another builder, and there's some big promise of financing through their builder, make it part of the sale agreement. So if they're saying, oh, we'll give you a 5.49 interest rate or a 6% interest rate and all these closing costs, make it part of that sale agreement. Because if you don't,
As
they
in
can,
subject to buyer receiving a loan with
you just make it not even subject to, straight up just a term. The seller is going to provide this. Make it a term, not even a subject to. So it's a covenant that they have to abide by, because they will flip it. It's like a loss leader. They get your clients to sign up, and then all of a sudden, like, oh, you know what? We can't honor that because the house won't be done in time, but we can do this, maybe. And so I've seen it happen so many times. And there's also penalties in their contracts that will say, like, you know, if you don't close on time, that your buyer will be subject to a daily penalty for not closing on time, regardless of the fact that it may have something to do with their lender or with the property not being complete. Like, so you really have to read those contracts. Guys, every time a contract goes in front of you that you are not familiar with, you have to read it and you have to understand it. And if you're passing it to your clients and having them sign it, they're thinking that you got it, that you understand it, and that you're representing them, and you're not. You flat out aren't doing it. So read it. Don't let promises be made. I was just saying, like, if Lennar's saying, or whoever the builder might say, yeah, we're going to offer you this interest rate, and you say, okay, let's make it part of the agreement. They're like, oh, well, we don't do that. Oh, we're doing this whole thing on handshakes then. Cool. Well, I will close on your property. This is great. I love it. My word means something. We don't need contract. We won't sign anything, right? They're never going to do that. So make it part of your agreement. Find a way to, like that. If you need help adding the term, let me know. We can write it up. It'll be very simple, but it needs to be part of the sale agreement.
Yeah, better to come to you and ask
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah.
Than
It's been my experience that when the builders, including Lennar, are sitting on inventory, for example, they're sitting on developments with a lot of unbuilt lots and maybe even houses that are sitting, they generally are not going to push the commission to the limit and go with zeros, because it's going to mean it's going to be harder for them to sell their inventory. So I would say in this environment, most of them are not like the Polish homes of the world. They're actually offering incentives right now. And Randy Sebastian is one that has done that notoriously over the last 30 years that I've watched him. Every time the market gets really, really good, it gets harder to work with him in terms of collecting fees and how it's all managed and everything else. And then when he's sitting on inventory, you're his best friend, agents are his best friend, and he wants to make everything work. So, you know, I don't know how Lennar is. They're one of the tougher ones, but
we've had a couple things.
We've had a lot,
lately.
yeah.
That's why we're.
Yeah. That's why I brought them
As
up
an
specifically.
example.
yeah,
Yeah.
they are one of the tougher ones. They always have been. Their contracts are horrible for buyers.
Okay. We've got
Yes,
we've got a
okay.
relocation person on.
But good conversation. It's always good to talk about what you guys are seeing out there. Hi, Christina. Thank you for getting on with us.
Hey guys, I apologize. I am never on the road when I do market center meetings. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so sorry. One of the largest REO servicers in the country asked me to go tour some properties with them because they wanted to work with us on a national level. So I've spent the last few hours looking at very ugly properties. So I appreciate you guys having me here.
Thank you. So we don't know a lot about KW relocation. So I think probably just start with the basics.
Sure. First and foremost, thanks for having me. I'm going to share with you guys a folder. Did share some resources with your office today. I'm going to also share with you just some resources for those of you that want to grow your referrals, I've got some simple, easy plug and plays. So again, thanks for having me. My name's Christina Griffin. I am in Tampa, Florida. That's where I personally live. My real estate background is I've done over 5,000 transactions, have a team in Gary's mastermind group. I've been an agent for 20 plus years. And really what I teach is a lot of what I've done in my own business, corporate relo, everything from institutional investors, data mining. Really, I love that the helping empower agents to go get massive opportunity. When it comes to relocation, and we are relocation and referrals, I'd say we're the only community that people join with the perceived that they're going to get referrals. That is not why we started it. It was Gary wanted us to educate agents on corporate relocation and how to go create and get the relationships in their local community. Now, it has since grown on absolutely every level. And for us, I'm just going to narrow it down to these 4 income buckets. And we've got a page that I shared with your office, and I'm going to share with you guys. We do have 4 different clear streams of revenue for an agent to plug into. You can plug into one, or you can plug into all of them. So corporate relocation, the certifications are very robust. They require those to be updated annually. We launched about 2 years ago. We're referring 1,000 plus corporate relocation referrals to our members and agents in the company a year since we've grown. It's not enough to feed the company. Corporate relocation does take time to grow these relationships. We do have a corporate relocation department. And what that means for you guys is if you've ever had that language, and that language is, and you'll see in the workbook I'm going to provide you, that language is someone walks into an open house and they say, I'm required to use the agent that they're requiring, or I can only use the agent that is on their preferred list. Well, we're approved with every company. So all you have to do is reach out to our relocation department and we can help you save that transaction. Most of the companies do require the training and certification side of things. And that's why we give that to the members for free. So again, that's one bucket. And then I'll share these different buckets and for each and every one of you as well. Local relocation. So become an expert in your community. So Gary said he created the largest relocation division in Austin, Texas. And the way that he did it was going to local businesses and seeing if they would offer a preferred discount or benefit to his clients, an exclusive benefit. So what we did was partner with the largest employee benefits portal in the country to empower you guys as agents to have your own portal. It doesn't cost anything additional for our members. And you have all the training, education, and marketing to go out into the world and be able to connect with those local businesses and human resources to be able to create those relationships. We've got agents that are working with hospitals. They are working with local schools, even police departments, to create hundreds of direct relationships. We even have agents that go to their local coffee shop and Mexican restaurant and they host business networking meetups. So there's a big way to create that local side. Not every one of you is going to do it. That's why we do have 4 clear revenue paths. And I'm going to share these last 2, then show you some resources and open it up for any questions. However, with a community, we were tasked to be able to offer a mastermind and a learning series. Well, we offer ×4 due to the additional revenue streams in our community. Now, online leads and referrals. I'm going to have Gracie, which is my right hand that is here. I'm going to have her share the folder as soon as we're done with you guys. Now, online leads and referrals. We do offer leads. Last year, we sent over 100,000 online leads to our members. We just onboarded a few new online lead sources. Now, I do coach our agents as well how to get more pay at closing sites, things that you don't have to pay out of pocket. So we do have training specific to that. We just onboarded 2 different new lead sources for our members as well. Now, we added this one. Yeah, you may say, Christina, it doesn't sound like anything to do with relocation referrals. Now, the reason we added working with investors is because one of the largest revenue sources for us as agents this year is going to be institutional investors. They own hundreds of thousands of properties. I just alone in your area, I'm able to easily show you how there are clients that are investors. And guys, I'm so sorry for the noise. I'm never on the road when I teach. But there are tons of investors that own a lot of properties in your area. Now, we just onboarded a very large institutional investor that has 25,000 properties, and they are committed to working with our members to sell at least 10% this year. And my goal is to bring in more opportunity. But our goal is to help you learn how to fish. Right now, all of us need to learn how to create more listings, whether it's on market or off market. And here's just a great example. Here's an investment group that's an institutional investor that owns properties in your area that has 4,525 properties. So part of what we're doing is we're giving the agents the tools, the marketing, and the resources to go get their own relationships, but we're also bringing in national relationships to refer to our members. Full disclosure, before I call it deal with anything else, if you're joining just for the referrals, I always say, please don't. We do have the referrals. We are growing it. Our goal is to double what we did last year and continue to grow, but we are a community of agents that are all learning, growing with the tools and resources available. Now, on this particular resource that you guys will see, it does share a ton of additional value adds for you guys to see and review. From, we have a concierge hub, our benefits portal, to social media marketing, a full calendar and blogs that you don't have to, I'd say, learn how to do it on your own, because, or actually not learn how, create it yourself, because we do it for you. So we have a lot of really great things, and we're excited about the growth and the things that we're doing this year. Now I'm going to pause for a minute. Is there any questions that come to mind before I share with you any additional resources? And then I'm going to share this with Gracie so she can also drop in the chat and send your leadership just some resources that I put in a folder for you guys here today.
Yeah, and we will post all those resources in the Facebook group. And Christina, maybe you're going to go through it, but can you talk about if there's different levels of membership and what the cost?
Absolutely.
Treated? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. So we only have one level of membership, and the level of membership is I'd say what most communities are. It's $199 a month. We're only having 5 agents in each market center. There are several market centers that were capped, not in your area yet. Some market centers in Florida, in Texas, and a few others. Ideally, an agent that, we have 5, but my hope is that we are able to have an agent passionate around growing each one of those income buckets. An agent that, and again, one can do it all, but an agent that wants to grow and focus on institutional investors or investor groups that have 20, 30, 500 properties, and work with us to help grow that side. Online leads and referrals, that's a different animal, right? And then corporate relocation, and then the local relocation. There's a ton of opportunity, and we have all the resources to help you guys succeed, or you plug one of your team members in. We do not have a GCI requirement. It's 5 agents per market center. We did have you had to be in the business for at least 2 years. In corporate relocation, they prefer that, but due to the fact that we needed help and we have so much opportunity, we did open it up and we're capping it at 5 agents per market center.
Okay, great. Does anyone have any questions for Christina before she continues on?
For
Oh, yeah.
clarification, do you still require 2 years? I wasn't clear on that comment.
No.
Or is it just
No.
5 per market center?
No, we don't require the 2 years. We had to open it up due to the additional lead sources that we brought on. So 2 years is not required. And I am personally the one that group coaches and coaches all the members other than 1 week a month, which is our relocation directors, and they handle the corporate relocation side of things.
Got it, thank you.
And so when she was saying the 5 agents per market center, some of the other communities, the sports and entertainment, have caps, so it's just doesn't get so diluted within any given market area.
Absolutely. And I find that 5 is really a sweet spot. You know, I personally do a large off market course within MAPS coaching. And, you know, sometimes I'll have 10 or 15 in one office. And it's a different format. This is your part of resources and tools. You get our logo, you get our branding. And because we do have a relocation and referral department, that you earn the right as being part of our membership to get active referrals when we have them. Some members, they may receive 20 to 30 in 1 year. Some may receive it in 1 month, and some may receive a handful. There are different markets that are growing, and all markets across the country, we are bringing an opportunity. Ideally, our goal is to continue. The more trained agents we have, it's easier to go to ownership groups. It's easier to go to large lead sources and say, look at all these amazing agents we have, believe in us, and let's work together.
Excellent. I do have one more question. So you, on the local relocation, you mentioned getting a web portal. And is that as you grow these different relationships with local businesses, you would provide them that website, and that's how people could get connected with you, but it's geared and focused on relocation.
Yes. So if you've been to a family reunion or mega camp, there's actually a similar provider that costs money. It's called Corporate Cards. We partnered with a national employee benefits portal where the agents actually have an app that they download, and on that app, it will have all of their branding. You're going to have national and local companies that are on there. I call it similar to a AAA AARP type discount platform for your clients, but then it's going to allow you to go to the local and national and other businesses to ask if they would like to offer a benefit either nationally to all of the portals we have or locally. And it really is that reason to get your foot in the door just to have that conversation. I've got an agent that got a local coffee shop to give a free cup of coffee. So when their clients log on, they're going to see the coffee shop with a free cup of coffee. And it just offers that additional benefit to allow you to continue to dig deeper and grow that relationship.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah. Instead of us asking for something from them, we're helping and supporting them. So it's a different approach when you walk in.
Excellent.
Okay, so I know we don't have a lot of time, so I just wanted to show you a few things. I know everyone here is looking to grow their business. In the folder that I'm going to provide, I do teach a class, and I'm happy to come back. It's about a 45-minute class and teach it to your market center if you would like. This is called Building Powerful Pipelines. And in this resource book, it does have a folder of me teaching it. It does go into the steps on never lose a corporate referral. And like I said, on an open house and the questions when somebody walks in, what to be able to ask and how to help connect with us to refer that opportunity. One of the fun ones I love to share, a lot of it has to do with your profile, setting yourself up for success and referring. I have ton of pay at closing sites. My real estate team closes deals every month from these pay at closing sites. Some of us as agents, we don't know that they exist. So I do have two free lists that you can opt into. I love Effective Agent. I love Agent Chrono. Clever. There's a lot of them that may help you and may help you grow, and it doesn't cost a lot out of pocket. But I wanted to give one quick tip. I am again super passionate around growing your guys' referrals and opportunity. Is there an experienced agent in the room that I can use you as an example? I just need your name.
Lara,
Okay.
Okay.
All right, James.
Lara James, Lara.
Okay, hold on 1 second for me. Okay, so here's some homework for all of you. A lot of you may not realize, and again, a lot of the people we don't know, they don't know us. So they all go to different places to find us. So I just want to give you a quick tip on growing your referrals. So you said it was Laura?
Nope,
LA.
Lara.
Okay, Lara, James.
Yes.
Okay. So I want every one of you to Google yourself. So a lot of us don't realize that we have to actually, we have to update our sites and our profiles, and we also have to establish our sites and profiles. And the reason why I like,
Shoot.
You're number one.
Top two. Boom.
Our actual web. is kind of-
yeah, yes, it,
Ah.
and I'll show you. So a lot of us, when we're cold prospecting or we're applying for referral companies or we're going to an expired listing appointment, we don't realize that our clients all go to different sites to check and see who we are. And I'd say check that validity out. So a lot of us, and a lot of you as it could be brand new agents, don't realize that we have to establish our profiles on different sites and we have to update our sales and referrals. So I have taken it as a practice, and I do it monthly to check out exactly what our sites look like. So it's an exercise that will be fun for each and every one of you. You'll see the site pop up, and the KW site, I'll be honest with you, it's one of the first times in a while I've seen the actual KW site pop up. And I don't know if, Laura, you have any desire to. The new sites are fantastic. So I would totally check that out if you haven't done that yet. You're going to see 5-star. Looks like Laura.
Oh, Christina, Laura said they have a different website that actually is not coming up, right?
Yeah, our Riverty website's not coming up, but my business partner and I have a team website with Bob and James.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So their main website is not showing up actually.
So that's where we have to check the SEO. So that's part of, I'd say, checking our profiles. I'm a big fan of blogs and things like that. Laura, it looks like you do REO. I do too. I'm on the Creator Advisory Council. So that's absolutely awesome. Now, the biggest ones I want to show you is I call it Zillow and Realtor.com. And all of those pay closing sites, those are actually really important for you guys to add your profiles to, because a lot of your clients could go to homes.com. They could go to HomeLight Effective Agent. And if you don't have an active profile, it will set you up for success, at least if you do that, regardless if you do those referral sources or not. So you're going to see here her profile. Okay. You're going to see here her website. So what we do is we need to check and make sure that they're correct. So yes, it looks like there is a different site that's added. So for you guys auditing these profiles, making sure the solds, right here, it only has 2 solds. Most of us don't realize that these don't automatically update. And we have to, and a lot of times we have to manually update them. Now she has great reviews, and I'm going to show you another super great hack for every one of you. And in what I'm sharing with you is going to give you a walkthrough on how to optimize your profile. Most of us don't realize that our bios and who we are not SEO optimized. So I love ChatGPT. It has changed the entire landscape on some of the things that we do. So I want you to take your bio, and if you have one, I want you to just say, here's the prompt, rewrite and SEO optimize.
That's good.
And then it's going to give you a fully rewritten SEO optimized profile and bio to be able to optimize your site, because there are keywords that are going to need to be established so people can find you. And the format has to be in a way that is clear and concise. So I'm going to drop this in the chat, and I'll let Gracie also send it. But that's simple prompt. Now, if you don't have a bio, I have a bio questionnaire. I want you to answer the questions. And then all you do is throw the questions and you do the same exact thing. Rewrite SEO optimized profile for a real estate agent, and it will write a nice profile for you that you can utilize on your sites. So these are some things that will help you create more referrals and more opportunity. And I'm going to share this with Gracie. It says it's too long for me to share it with you, just so she can also email it to your office. And I know I'm going fast. I just want to share 2 more things when it comes to this. So you guys are going to take a look at all of your profiles. You're going to make sure that those are set up for success. Now, what us as agents also don't realize that most cases, realtor.com doesn't automatically add us. Ooh, that's definitely not her. So that it doesn't automatically add us. So we have to, in most cases, we have to put our profile in. So you'll see her profile here. Thank you so much for allowing to check you out on here. Areas served. Language spoken. It does show your listings and 2 solds and 37 solds. Well, your Zillow has a lot more. So these are just some things I want you guys to look at. We don't know where our clients go to look for us. Hers is a lot better than what I've seen in the past. When I do give this example, I want you guys to check realtor.com specifically. Yeah, I want you guys to check realtor.com specifically, because most of you will not have an active profile on realtor.com. You don't realize that you have to actually reset the login email that you use on the MLS and then add your profile and set it up. So these are just some things that will help you. I would also make sure that you have your command profile that is set up correctly as well. And there's a front facing profile that is for the public, and then there's one for referrals. On that walkthrough that I do, it will give you some tips on how to optimize that. But these are just some simple things that will help you and set you up for success. So guys, I am so sorry I was a few minutes late. I hope you got at least a little value today. Check the folder that I shared. The folder does have a lot of my favorite links. It has a lot of letters, some conversations, as well as the walkthrough and everything that on that workbook that will bring you through how to grow your referrals. And that's just an example of some of the things that we do in our community.
Excellent. Thank you, Christina. We appreciate you being here. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you. And thank you guys all. Hopefully you learned something about relocation. Makes you think about a lot of
Well, I mean, how much does it cost for you to go through and check all the social media sites and make sure you show up? And
I
it
know,
looks
I know,
right?
I know.
Free.
Free.
Yeah, so I mean, she makes a very good point to go back through and check all of them and make sure you have an up-to-date bio with good information, and you can even chat
gonna go-
GDP or
I'm gonna go SEO optimize
Yeah.
all my bios.
I mean,
yeah.
Just think about it, like you make a good impression at an open house on somebody, and then they want to just like, oh yeah, you know what? I really like Kelly. I'm gonna go Google him and see more about him. And they look up like, oh, so is he alive? Is he dead? Does he sell real estate?
Does he actually live in?
And that's what you thought
Yeah.
you did mine. So
Mhm.
it's you don't want to lose business because somebody searched you and you didn't have the modicum of information about yourself.
Okay.
Modicum.
That was
Just like
Wow,
modicum.
nice
Okay.
vocabulary word. Happy birthday, Dwight. Have a
Thank you.
wonderful rest of your
Have a
day.
good day, everyone.
All right, take care.
Before you leave, everyone.